Did he pick it? Yes, he does. Interception. C.J. Hester. And C.J. Hester, did he get it?
Today, it's about teamwork.
Hester caught the ball.
It's about having
They're
that discipline.
asking. Yes, indeed. C.J. Hester again in the end zone. Well, good evening, everybody. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. And, of course, we are now 2 days removed from the big 2A state semifinal win by the Cocoa Tigers over the Cardinal Mooney Cougars, 31-21. And, listen, I know a lot of the talk surrounds the 17 catches and 378 yards by Javen Boggs. But I promise you this, the Cocoa Tigers do not win that football game on Friday night without what the following student athlete did in that game. He had an amazing football game. And of course, if you watch that game, you know that I'm talking about C.J. Hester. And there you see his two interceptions on the screen right now. Both of them things of beauty. The first one, I don't even know how he pulled that thing in. But let's talk to the man that's got nearly 20 offers from schools like Florida, and we'll ask him about all that as well. But I want to find out about this game Friday night because he played phenomenally. Please help me welcome C.J. Hester. And C.J., welcome to Brevard Sports Network. It's great to have you here. Man, what a game Friday night. And the thing that really blew my mind, C.J., is they just kept coming at you as if there were no lessons learned from the previous throws. Talk about this game a little bit.
Well, going to the game, it was going to be a tough game. It wasn't just going to be an easy win. So I really just had to study a lot of film and just be prepared going to this game and knowing that I may get tested. And even though I may get tested, some team's going to pay.
The first interception, I believe it was the first one in the back of the end zone, and people are watching it again on the screen. You kind of juggled that thing there. You caught a tip pass, grabbed it, got your feet in. They often say that defensive backs, great defensive backs, are good wide receivers that couldn't hang on to the football. That's not the case for you. You certainly pulled this one down. Talk about that play and how you managed to catch a tip ball in the back of the end zone and get your foot in.
Oh, okay. So I think it was on the second play. I think it was like in a 40-yard line. It was in like cover three, and I dropped back. I was looking at the quarterback, but also the receiver. And I seen he tried to do a fade, but I was over top of him like 2-3 yards, and then I seen the ball my way in the air. So I knew I had to go for it and try to get a pick. So I went out for it. But he also, like in the film, if you see it, I'm on top of him, but he come like inside of me a little bit. So I tried to get back inside a little bit to like go up, try to catch the ball. But yeah, tipped it a little bit. So when he tipped it, I was still looking for the ball in the air. And the ball, luckily, it fell just right in front of me. So I just grabbed it right here. And I looked down because I knew we was like back at the end zone. So I looked down and I made sure I got both my feet in.
Yeah, you did get both in. That's great, man. That was a heck of a play. And then the other interception, I mean, that's just textbook coverage. I mean, you had your hips, your head, all of it was just perfect. I'm not even sure why Mignery threw the football there because, I mean, you just had perfect coverage. Were you shocked that he came after you on that play?
Not really because, like, all night they were just coming at me.
Yeah.
But all night they was coming at me, and the route he had ran, they ran it like before that. I had stopped it like 3 times, so they had ran it before. And a little thing, how I got the pick of how like I knew I was gonna get the pick. It was like I'm very aware on the field, so I'm playing on their sideline, So I listened. I'm looking like I was looking forward at the receiver, but I was listening to the sideline. And the coach had actually told the wide receiver. It was a new wide receiver in. He wasn't in like in the whole game, so they had switched him in. So I guess he probably didn't know what the route was. So I listened, overheard, and he said a stutter and go. So I was like, okay,
You
I'm a
got to. Hey, that is great situational awareness. That's just outstanding assignment football in listening and having an ear out. That's good stuff, right? That's great insight here with CJ Hester. I believe 3 stars or four, CJ?
four.
Four. That's what I thought. 4-star defensive back for the Cocoa Tigers. And CJ, I got to ask. You guys, at the beginning of the season, it seemed that you guys were replacing a lot of guys in the secondary. You're a veteran on this secondary, of course. I mean, you played 14 games for the Tigers as a sophomore, and of course, I mean, you've been on the field for a long time for this program. Little bit of a struggle to start the season, but as the season progressed, things got so much better for this defense. Tell us how that happened. How did this defense get better over the course of this year?
Really, coming from last year where everybody was like grew around each other and just we all had a great chemistry. So it was just we all had chemistry, so it was easy, getting along and doing our stuff. But this year where like new people coming back, we had actually number DJ. He was a wide receiver. He had transferred to DB. Durant, him getting hurt.
Yeah, that
So
hurt.
him getting hurt, so we had to like find people to get our secondary. Because our secondary was kind of new. Everybody was new. I was playing with, so and people had to switch different positions in the secondary.
It
So
takes a while to get that chemistry back there and the rotation but I think you guys and Coach Diesel, I mean, you guys got this thing figured out. And CJ, now this program's going to its fourth straight championship. You've been playing in your third straight state championship yourself. Listen, first of all, let me say this. I do not like the fact that a nationally ranked program like the Cocoa Tigers has to play at 12:30 on a Thursday. I hate that fact, and there's the information on the screen. You're going up against a pretty good football team that seemingly loves to run the football. I'm sure you've already taken a look at them, but I suspect, as it always is, that when you play in a game, is it more about you guys taking care of business and yeah, your assignments and what the other team's going to do, but as long as you guys execute Cocoa Tiger football, usually things turn out pretty good.
yes, sir. One thing our Coach Snyder always tell us. He used to always tell us to do our jobs. If everybody just do their job and focus, we're just gonna execute and we're gonna have a great night.
Tell me about playing for Coach Diesel and the defensive coaches. What have you learned from these guys over the course of the last couple of years? Because knowing Coach Diesel like I know him, he's one of the best coaches, period, I've ever had the good fortune to talk to. Tell me about Coach Diesel.
He a great coach, and he great on and off the field when you need him. Uh, just like he really gets after it. He really, want perfection. He just really relentless effort, and just don't give up. And we got to keep it to the standard. And it's like, and getting, into the playoffs and stuff. We just have to have perfection and nothing else. We can't have no mistakes because mistakes can cost you out of the playoffs. So it's just great and a blessing to have Coach Diza as a coach, and great work. I've been practicing, working on it every day, getting better, and just strengthening our team and our bond. So it was a great blessing to have Coach Diza as a coach.
I
He
made a
really,
mistake. I made a mistake. I want to correct. You've been on this program for 3 years, and you still have one more year. You are along the lines of these, some of the great defensive backs that have come through Cocoa High School, like the Chauncey Gardner Johnsons of the world, like the Cedric Hawkins of the world. CJ, as a guy that has already played 38 games in just 3 seasons, what does it mean to be the next guy, the next guy up in a defensive backfield that has produced some greats? What does that mean to you?
it just means it's a blessing. It's like I gotta withhold the standard and just keep it on. and just keep on, and then like influence my younger guys that are coming up and just showing them the ropes and helping them getting better and just being a leader and a role model to the younger group. So when I'm lead, they can what's hold the standard, and just keep giving excellence.
What is like, and I want to talk about off the field because I don't think people understand how good of a student you are. What's your current GPA sitting at?
It's either I think it's a 4.3 or 4.4.
Okay, I'll take either, CJ. That is absolutely remarkable. A 4.3 or a 4.4. Congratulations, CJ. I mean, with all of your accomplishments on the football field, that's the one thing that's going to lock you down for sure in a D1, P5 school or P4 school. Now, let's talk about the recruiting process. How have you approached it? I think over 20 offers now. How have you approached the recruiting process? Is it something that you've just kind of taken and said, you know what, when the time is right, I'll make my decision, I'll sift through the offers? How have you approached it?
Really approaching rise, I thought about where I would want to play at, what schools I want to play at, and what division I would want to play in. So and then also the coaches that showing interest in me as well. So so it's been like some top teams that been showing a lot of love and interest in me. So I'm really just go somewhere that love me, and then somewhere I can be at and play early, and I have a good education as well.
How much fun is the recruiting process now by the time, I don't know when you're going to commit or, obviously you'll sign next year, but, looking at the recruiting process now, you saw those five guys up on the stage on Wednesday and kind of saw what this whole NIL process is now, athletes able to be paid in college. How exciting is that? And while I know you're a guy that is a great student and a great football player, that has to be something that comes into play these days. How exciting is it?
It's very exciting. It's very blessing because back in the days, most people didn't get really NIL, so now people are trying to get their worth. But me, I'm not really focused on NIL as that much. It's a benefit. It's a benefit, no doubt. But I just want to go to a school where I'm gonna be able to play at, because if I feel like I could be on the field, then that's where my stock could be able to rise.
That's a great offer, and the Tigers are blessed to get you back for another season next year here with CJ Hester, and there are his highlights as well as the two interceptions. Those two interceptions in that game on Friday, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell. Both of them killed drives that would have put Cardinal Mooney, had they scored, within 3 points of the Tigers. And there were points of that game where Cardinal Mooney had momentum, and C.J. Hester's, both of his picks in that game absolutely killed that. CJ, tell me a little bit about you off the field, man. Like, what do you like to do? How do you relax, man? What is like? What did you do? What did you do today to relax?
Really, today I ain't gonna lie. I got up. I had to do some mail for my car. My car got like it got like total loss. So I was just on and just trying to do some paperwork for my car.
Gotcha.
And I went to my grandma's house. I like going to my grandma's house. I
Yeah,
get a mindset when I'm over, at grandparents' house. So it's nice.
that I like.
Grandparents.
I like that, man. I remember those days well, man, where I'd get on when I lived up in Baltimore, I'd get on a bus and go visit my grandmother. Sometimes I just end up spending the night there. I definitely remember those days. I tell you what, what do you know so far about Gadsden County in terms of what they like to do? What have you seen, and what do you know they like to do?
I noticed they're a good team overall. Like
Yeah.
I play them, they're a good team overall, good in the passing and the run game. So we gotta come hard and come prepared, and the little mistakes we gotta polish and fix up, so
Yeah.
we don't have cheeks in the armor.
CJ, I tell you, man, the fact that we get another year with you is great. Do you know when you might make a verbal commitment, or is that something you're not even worried about until next year?
Probably after the season. After the
Okay.
season.
Okay. Well, you're gonna keep me posted, right?
Yeah, I'll text you.
All right, good, good. I'm glad because I definitely want to know. CJ, listen, man, I leader back there, not just in the secondary, but on that defense overall. You guys have Coco's mantra is the dark side defense, and while under Coach John Wilkinson, they ran the ball. Under Coach Schneider, you guys throw the ball. The one thing that has always remained a constant is that dark side defense, and you are very much a part of that. Let me ask you this: who are some football players you look up to? Who would you model your game after? Like, do you have a favorite NFL player or college player?
Well, I can't say I have a favorite NFL player, but I watch certain guys that they're in my position that can help me be at the next level. So like every time every in our pregame, I always like before the games, I always like watch like in a certain DB highlights like Tariq Whelan,
Yeah.
Enzo Ward from the Browns. He a
Yep.
very good mission. Uh, Alante Taylor from the Saints, AJ Terrell. So I also watch like some of them guys. Just I look at them so I can get the feel of the game before I actually step on the field. So I can have practice my technique and just do well. And I also play with a dollar in my sock.
Oh, tell me about that. What's up with the dollar in the sock? Tell me about that.
Really just like it was before the game. I got a dollar and I just put it in my sock, just to see what happened, just for good luck like that, and then just go out there. And one of my coaches, Big Diesel, Matt Diesel, dad, he before the game he told me I'm gonna have 2 picks, and I got 2 picks.
Is the dollar in the sock something you just started?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, CJ, you can't change. You got to put another dollar in the sock Thursday, my friend.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have to put another dollar in the sock on Thursday. That is, hell, you might even have people sending you dollars to be putting in your sock on Thursday after this runs tonight. But listen, man, congratulations on all of your success. We're blessed here in Brevard County to be able to have you for another year on the football field. And good luck Thursday in the state championship. And thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes here tonight with us to talk about your big game and the upcoming game. And of course, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate being on
No,
here.
no problem at all. And Guy, I always try to get to, you know the story. It's tough for me to get down from the press box to the field, but always have wanted to talk to CJ for a while now. I'm glad I had this chance tonight. For CJ Hester, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody. Did he pick it? Yes, he does. Interception. CJ Hester. At CJ Hester, did he get it?
Today, it's about teamwork.
Hester caught the ball.
It's about having
They're
that discipline.
asking. Yes, indeed. CJ Hester again in the end zone.